When you think of a frame that's designed so well that it can be called perfect, who do you think about? You can argue all you want over why X frame is better than Y frame, or even make tier lists dictating what is and isn't considered top tier in our current meta. In my opinion, every Warframe has a place where they are good to play, including other frames that have been considered bad or average since their release. It's impossible to determine what Warframe is considered the ultimate frame in the game, because everyone has different tastes in how they like to play, and not everyone will agree on what is considered to be the perfect one. However, in Warframe, there exists two types of perfection. The first type of perfection is perfect because the design has virtually no flaws. Obviously you know that I'm talking about Loki when I say this. I've bitched about Loki in the past about how he makes the game about as difficult as breathing, and I'll continue that argument to this day. However, I can't deny that speaking in terms of kit design, Loki's the poster child for easy gameplay. Just by looking at what Loki has at his disposal, you can tell that he just screams easy game, easy life. He has two ways of removing enemy aggro from himself: the longest range teleport in the game, two augments that can save from death, an ability that makes enemies useless forever, and an augment that almost makes Nyx worthless. There's also that passive that just exists. Let's be real, there's really not any good reason to be clinging to walls for more than 6 seconds anyway. With all of that at his back, Loki is unique because there is literally never a situation where having a Loki is not useful. I'd almost go as far to say that Loki is an overloaded Warframe, but then I remember that my favorite frame has 6 different flavors of crowd control, so I really can't say much. However, I will say that this is a more fitting description for Loki. The second type of perfection is perfect because the kit matches the theme and the theme matches the gameplay feel. For this type, I will talk about Mesa. Mesa is a bit of an oddball because while Loki has utility that covers basically everything in the game, Mesa has a little bit of everything that isn't healing. Mesa's kit is one of my favorites in the game, because her abilities, including her passive, fit her theme as a gunslinger while at the same time not being gimmicky. Mesa's biggest points are her gimped team-wide Loki disarm that also gives damage, and a self-buff that almost makes her a tank. Although some would argue that Mesa's ultimate is now shitty because it's not an automatic turret like it used to be, it's still pretty devastating considering it inherits most of the bonuses from secondary weapon mods, meaning if you have a Riven that has no business existing on account of how overpowered it is, Mesa's ultimate will be your go-to for damage. The only thing holding Mesa back from being absurdly good is her fairly lackluster one. The reason being that the added 1600 damage means nothing at high levels. But that's the key difference between a Warframe like Loki and another frame like Mesa. One of them has set strengths and weaknesses in addition to having a well-defined theme, while the other is absurdly good at everything in the game, despite a lack of built-in damage. Thank you for watching.